The upcoming Universe Beyond Final Fantasy is said to be the best-selling set for Magic the Gathering, surpassing the Lord of the Ring. We'll be getting 4 Commander Preconstructed decks, and all of them are based on their respective game titles. The Commander Precons are a great way for beginners to pick up and play right off the box. In this video, we'll talk about each of the Precon themes, some suggestions to upgrade this Precon, and finally, the first impression for each Precon in this set. A quick disclaimer, this video was done before the full deck list is revealed, and it is not a Precon upgrade video. I'll be making each one of them when they are released. Also, the upgrade that I'll be suggesting might get reprinted in this Precon, so there will be a risk. Let's start with the Revival Trance Precon. This is a red, black, white deck helmed by Terra, Hero of Hope from Final Fantasy VI. She can fill your graveyard and gain evasion during combat. Whenever she deals combat damage, you can revive a power 3 or less creature card from your graveyard. The Revival Trance Precon is another graveyard themed deck that focuses on filling your graveyard and then resurrect one creature back. But that creature must have power 3 or less so that Terra can bring it back. Here are 5 budget cards you can consider. Burial Life can help you search up 3 creature cards with power 3 or less and put them into your graveyard. Then Terra can bring them back. Jarina, Dauntless General, can exile your opponent's graveyard, but most importantly, she can sacrifice herself to give humans hexproof and indestructible. By the way, Terra is a human. I really like Ryu Storm Edge here because he can allow Terra, who is a warrior, to get an additional combat phase to trigger Terra's mill ability and potentially resurrect more creatures. Karmic Guy is good here as she can revive any creature cards regardless of their power. Perpetual Timepiece can help us fill the graveyard, and if anybody tries to exile our graveyard, we can salvage our cards back by paying 2 mana. Here are 5 expensive cards for this deck. Ranger Captain of Eos can stop your opponents from interrupting our turn, and it can be brought back by Terra. Ripples of Undead can fill the graveyard and get one of them back if you pay the cost. Altar of Dementia is disgusting here because you can sacrifice your creatures to fill your graveyard and Terra can bring them back again. Solitude is a powerful creature that can be evoked and exile one creature, then Terra can bring it back again and exile another creature. Doughty Voidwalker is another powerful card that can take advantage of your opponent's creature. Also, Terra can bring him back as well. If you like graveyard shenanigan and cheating small but impactful creatures into play, then you can pick up this Precon. Next up, we have the Limit Break Precon. This is a red, green, white deck featuring Cloud X Soldier from Final Fantasy VII. He is a very impactful card that can freely equip one equipment, and then when he attacks, you get to draw 1 card for each equipped attacking creature you control. Then, if Cloud has power 7 or greater, you get 2 treasure tokens. The Limit Break Precon is an equipment matter and go white deck that focuses on equipping multiple creatures with equipment and attacks so that Cloud can draw you tons of cards. This deck can also be a Voltron deck where you equip Cloud with tons of equipments and bash your opponent. Also, commander damage is important here as you can kill your opponent with 21 commander damage by Cloud. Here are 5 budget cards you can consider. Mandibular Kite is cheap to cast and you can attack in the next turn. Dragon Wing Glider may be expensive to cast, but you can attack right away, which will help Cloud to draw more cards. Adaptive Omnitool is good here because it can get you more equipments, and the more artifact or treasure tokens you have, the stronger the equipped creature get. Akiri, Fearless Voyager, can help you draw more cards and provide protection too. Chishiro, the Shadow Blade, can provide a body for your equipment to equip and pump your board too. Here are 5 expensive cards you can consider for this deck. Hexblade Wallbreaker can provide an additional combat phase, which helps to trigger Cloud's attack ability. Stoneforge Mystic can tutor up any equipment and add it to your hand, and she can cheat out one equipment at a time. Conqueror's Flail can stop your opponents from interacting with you, and it can pump Cloud to reach that power 7 threshold to get 2 treasures. Robe of Stars can protect your creature by paying 2 mana. I really like Wolfgar of Icewind Dale here because he can trigger Cloud's attacking ability twice. If you like bashing your opponent with one suit-up creature, then the Limit Break Precon is for you. Up next, we have the Counter Blitz Precon. This is a white-blue-green deck helmed by Tidus, Yuna's Guardian from Final Fantasy X. He can transfer one counter, for example, Hexproof counter, +1/+1 counter, shield counter, and many more to another target creature you control. Moreover, when one or more creatures with counter hits a player, you get to draw one card and proliferate, but you can only do this once. The Counter Blitz Precon is a counter matter deck that focuses on having multiple or different counters on creatures you control, and then pass them along so that your team can get benefit. This deck probably requires tons of dice to keep track your counters. There are 5 budget cuts you can consider. Trumming Bird or Grateful Operation are good proliferation engine to get more and more counters. Falco Spara Pack Weaver can get a shield counter, and this bird demon has flying and tremble, which means you can get in some damage to your opponents to trigger Tidus' ability to get more shield counter. Crystalline Giant can generate a random counter for you, and then you can distribute it using Tidus' ability. Path of Discovery can give you +1/+1 counter whenever a creature enters. It could also give you a land too. Rishkar's Pima Renegade can give you +1/+1 counters too and enable your team to tap for mana. Here are 5 expensive cards you can consider for this precon. Since we'll be proliferating a lot, Tekutal Inquiry Dominus can accelerate our proliferation plan, and it can produce indestructible counter too. Damning Verdict can be a one-sided board wipe that destroys all of your opponent's creatures. Resourceful Defense can help you move counters around. It is essentially another Tidus. The Ozolith can also do the same thing, except it is limited to creatures only. Innkeeper's Talent can provide +1/+1 counters, ward 1, and potentially a doubling season in a single card. If you like putting dices on creatures you control or having a very resilient board state, then I think this precon does the trick. The last precon that we're going to talk about is the Scions and Spellcraft precon. This is a blue-black-white deck led by Ishtola Nightblessed from Final Fantasy XIV. If any player loses 4 or more life, you get to draw a card. Mind you, this ability checks on each turn, which includes your opponent's turn as well. Whenever you cast a mana value 3 or greater non-creature spells, she deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. The Scion and Spellcraft deck is a typical control deck that wants to get benefit from casting mana value 3 or greater non-creature spell. There might be very few creatures in this precon, as the focus is to cast non-creature spells like instant, sorcery, artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, and battle. So defending yourself might be a challenge. But don't worry, here are some cards you can prevent too much bashing from your opponent. Here are 5 budget cards you can consider for this precon. Ghostly Prison or Propaganda can deter your opponents from attacking you. Mind Splice Apparatus can reduce your instant and sorcery spell cost, and it is a non-creature spell which will trigger Ishtola's ability, Curiosity or Ophidian Eye are good here because Ishtola deals damage. When she does, you get to draw a card. Campbell, Console of Allocation, can punish your opponents. Remember, when they lose 4 more life, you get to draw a card. Disgustingly, you could run Pheresis, and when Ishtola deals damage, she deals poison damage instead. Here are 5 expensive cards you can consider for this deck. You want to pay attention to these free or almost free instant cards like Dismember, Snuff Out, Deadly Rollick, Baleful Mastery, cause Ishtola count them as 3 or more greater mana value non-creature spell. Shieldra the Apocalypse is very strong here because she can punish your opponent from drawing cards and potentially trigger Ishtola's draw ability. This card has spike up in price because the way Ishtola deals damage ability is worded, and this is Helm of the Gas Lord. Never mind the draw card ability, but forcing your opponent to discard card is disgusting. Since Ishtola is power 2, Delny Streetwide Lookout can help trigger Ishtola's ability twice. Even the almighty stock up is good in this deck because it's a 3 mana value non-creature spell that fetch out 2 cards. If you like destroying your opponent's stuff and be a menace on the table, then I think this precon is meant for you. Here are my first impression for each precon, and I can only judge them based on their face commander, not the content for each precon because the full deck list isn't out yet. For beginner friendliness, I recommend the Limit Break and the Revival Trance precon because they are very straightforward to play and easy to learn. The other precons are a little tricky. For popularity, and this can be subjective, I think the Counter Blitz precon is the least popular, followed by Revival Trance, then Scions and Spellcraft, and finally Limit Break because of their face commander. For power level wise, I will rank Tidus as 4th, Terra in 3rd, Cloud as 2nd, and then Ishtola as 1st because I feel that Tidus and Terra require some setup at first before doing anything. Cloud is very impactful when he comes in because stuff happens. Ishtola is just a very menacing commander to face. Finally, here are the MSRP for each precon. The Universe Beyond precons are priced much more expensive than a regular set precon. Not to mention there are collector edition for each of these precon too. If they are priced so expensively, I hope the reprint value for each precon justify that price tag. Otherwise, fans and players are going to be very disappointed. What is the difference between the regular and the collector edition precons? Each of the cards in the collector edition are foil. Search foil to be exact, and it looks like this. Honestly, I don't think the collector edition deck are worth getting because the price is super expensive. Moreover, foil cards can curve out, which makes your deck very curvy and it doesn't look good. You might want to get some foil armor to make sure your collector edition precon stay flat. With that being said, that is all for today's video. Are you excited for the Final Fantasy Precons? Which one you'll be getting? Please let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye bye.